In the world, people hold on to what was given unto them by their parents, by society, by the community as a whole. The language you speak doesn't come from you. No, if you speak English as your native language, it comes because you were born in a context where English was the spoken language. And how did English come into being? That was centuries of agreements between tribes, between governments, and that led to the English language. So you did not cause English. You did not make yourself a native English speaker. That's something that was transferred onto you. And in English, you have rules, you have regulations, how to spell certain words. In some English-speaking countries, they make their own spelling rules. All of that to make sure people understand one another. So you inherited all those agreements. The same way you inherit a language, you also inherit other things. You inherit ways of thinking. You inherit spiritual stuff also. If your parents were negatively laden and they had demons after them, guess what? You received that also. Or maybe you moved to another area. You weren't born there. As a grown individual, you moved, for example, to Mexico. But in Mexico, there are many conflicts. Let's say that's the case. Then you received what's in that environment. Why am I talking about this? Because you need to understand that you receive things from the environment you're in. Now, as a human being, you have the ability to influence your environment. And as a believer, you have power to impact your environment. But before you go out to impact your environment, examine the context you're in. Too many people inherit curses, they inherit difficulties, they inherit afflictions from their parents, from their surroundings, and they just take it as just the way it is and they cope with it. And you also have many believers that do this and they think, well, as long as Christ has returned, it's just the way it is. So no. Yes, there will be dysfunction and there will be evil in the world until Christ returns, but you as a believer, you have the power of Christ to overcome and overrule all evil and all dysfunction. But before you can overrule and overcome, you must know what's going on. So, examine the context you're in. Examine the context you grew up in. Examine it. That's it for now. Keep agreeing with Christ and be at peace.